Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Alrighty, so I wanted to get into the pumpers once again. And I want to also look at this concept of fragile versus anti-fragile. It's based off of the book Anti-Fragile that Nassim Taleb wrote. Fantastic read. I encourage everyone to check that book out. And I was watching this video last night. I'm going to be posting this, by the way, on Thursday morning. And I'm not sure how many videos I may be doing this coming weekend. Just going to be a really busy weekend for me. I may have some of my older videos that I've done, and I may post those. But, anyways, I wanted to get into the concept of how fragile the pumper's strategy is. And, like I said last night, I was watching this video of this one individual. You guys probably know who he is. And this guy was talking about, hey, look, no negativity in this hobby is allowed. The only way we're going to see our card prices go up is if everyone is positive and you can't speak down on anything and except yada yada yada, right? And I've spoken about this before. When you are investing, and this guy, I believe, calls himself more of an investor, you have to be objective, right? And if you're just looking at it from the positive side of the boat, you're going to get burned. And I also remember there's this guy in this industry who's called a leader or is a supposed leader of this industry. And he was saying, oh, all these negative people, they're bad for the hobby. They're driving down the prices. So the problem with people in the industry and the pumpers is that they don't understand the basic concepts of why collectibles go up. While they may be right about supply and demand, hey, if you have excess amount of demand and it exceeds the supply, guess what? The price is going to go higher. Okay, that obviously makes sense. Majority of the people get that. Okay, but the component that they are missing is, and I've spoken about this in numerous videos, I will speak about this again. In an inflationary environment, sports cards hold up pretty well. And if you look at 2020, 2021, they did pretty well. But the only difference between this time frame versus maybe the 1970s, and if you look at even the late 1940s, around that time frame, I think it was shortly after World War II where you had inflation. All of these collectibles, any inflationary product, it goes up. But right now in 2020, 2021, we were in a pandemic. We were at home and people were given stimulus checks. That artificially inflated the price of collectibles. And I really don't see that much talk from people in the industry about that and people who are the pumpers. They're just saying, hey, you got to be positive, and anyone who's negative, they're the reason why sports cards are going down or collectibles are going down, or that's what they're trying to imply. And that's the furthest thing from reality. And the thing about these pumpers, all they do, in my opinion, is they hype up the product and they're basically colluding with other channels to say, hey, this product, let's just talk about this, right? And they talk about it, they hype it up like crazy. And then what the thing is, other outside investors say, hey, look, all these channels are talking about this. And basically we gotta get in. So then you get the private equity in, you get the Wall Street crowd in, and it just goes higher and higher and higher. And then all these guys that are excited about this, they keep on pumping it up. right? I'm not saying that all of these guys have a nefarious take on it and they're trying to pump and dump. I'm not saying everyone's trying to pump and dump, but some of these guys, they just ride it to the moon and they bring in all these other investors, not investors, they get all these other guys buying in at higher prices. And then the last ones in, they're left holding the bag. Yeah, sure. People that were buying a few years ago, I'm going to say this again, are going to do fine, right? I know people that have done fantastic. And once again, congratulations. I'm not hating on your success. I'm actually happy that you've made money and you've done it the right way. You're not trying to pump and dump. Okay. That's just one thing I need to reiterate. It's these guys that are condescending towards other people that may have a different opinion. And if people are all about the community, all types of opinions should be discussed, even if you were to believe that is a negative opinion. And the more the leadership does this, and the more certain YouTube influencers do this, people are going to turn on them once the market continues to have a bloodbath. Okay? This is just human nature. Rather than being open minded, if you're closed minded in your own echo chamber, well, don't be complaining when people turn on you. Okay. And now getting into how this is a fragile strategy that, hey, look, we need a, we only got to be positive, and if you're only positive, this is how you're going to get the cards up. No, the sports cards and other cards, it takes time for these markets to go up. Okay, back in the day, people were told, hey, it'll take 5 to 10 years in order for a card to go up. Now, if you're the first ones in, then yeah, you're going to make money, but you could be buying while the trend is hot and you think you're making money with unrealized gains, but then all of a sudden you see some shill bids and then you see some people just leave and then go on to the next thing, right? And then you may be actually seeing these unrealized gains turned into unrealized losses and you're underwater and you don't know what to do. And that is a very fragile strategy, following the pumpers, because the pumpers, what they will not tell you is what I'm telling you. And I'm just looking based on historical context, right? I like looking at history. And what history tells you, once again, it takes time to make money. This is not a get rich scheme. The industry, what they did a few years ago, they marketed this as a get rich scheme, and it wasn't. And the fact is, they rode like all the stimulus money to the top. They rode Fleer 86 to the top. Some of them said, hey, this isn't a bubble, it's part of our culture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Rather than give the accurate information, they didn't. They gave and they marketed hype. And they go after people that have opinions like mine. All right. I'm pretty sure there are people in the leadership, in the higher ups of the sports card industry, don't like my content. Don't like my content because I speak my mind. I'm not beholden to any of the sports card leaders and their products. And I don't have any problem if people have uh, sponsorships, but I'm not beholden to them, and I don't expect them to reach out to me to do sponsorships. Now, that being said, I want to look at the sports card market like it was from a historical context. It takes time. And in my opinion, what could be the next catalyst, even though we're going into a recession, the minute they start giving UBI stimulus checks, I think that's the next road up. And what I'm doing is I want to be as anti-fragile as possible, meaning I want to look at cards while they may not be in demand now, they could be in demand in the next 5 to 10 years. And that may be a long time frame, but guess what? That's how collectibles used to be. Yes, there were flippers, right? And yes, people will continue to make money flipping. And I'll be happy for flippers that are successful. I believe those guys that are buying collections at a discount and able to sell it at a higher price, more towards the market value. Okay, I think those people are going to make money that way. I'm not doing that. I'm doing it for a long-term hold. And when I got into the collectibles industry, I was trying to do it from a long-term perspective. But guess what? We had the pandemic and we had funny money from the government. Okay? Now that funny money has gone away. And now instead of easing, which is what the Federal Reserve was doing, now they are in the process of tightening. So for me, it doesn't make sense for me to put thousands and thousands of dollars in sports cards. I may individually look at cards. I may buy cheap slabs that are under 50 bucks, but that's more of a long-term play. Even though it may have a higher population, I'm just looking for cheap slabs of great players. That's my strategy. I want to be as anti-fragile as possible. Does it mean I'm going to be right on what I'm doing? No, but that's my strategy. Like all these Hall of Fame players, rookie cards, they're overpriced in my opinion. I was getting them dirt cheap like 3-4 years ago, or what, 3 years ago. Now everything's overpriced. So the thing about me versus the pumpers, you don't know if they're getting side kickbacks. Okay, hopefully not. And and their process is hype to make the price go higher, and just be positive. Can't look at the negative. Can't be objective. Me, I want to look at the positive. I want to look at the negative. I want to look at in between, and I want to look at, hey, look, over long periods of time, people tend to go to quality players, but all the quality players are still overpriced in my opinion. So I'm just looking at the cheaper slabs right now that no one's looking at. That's my long-term anti-fragile strategy. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all of this. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.